Well, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Converting Decimal to Fraction, number 2, Graphic Organizer, and Coach K's famous Math Corner. Hey, welcome back, everybody. Hey, so our objective today as a math student, I will be able to convert a decimal to a fraction written in its simplest form. Hey, you should have Graphic Organizer number 2, and here we go. You know what? Here's some simplest form information you might need to remember. You may already know, but that's okay. I don't mind going through it again. If the numerator and denominator are in counting order. Counting order simply means like this, 3/4. That's in counting order. You count 1, 2, 3, 4, counting order. If 1 is in the numerator's place, or if both numbers are prime. Here's a list of prime numbers, and there might even be more that you'd want to include in that list. Or if the only common factor between the two, the numerator and denominator, is 1, then you know it's in its simplest form. All right? So here we go. That should all be written down for you. It's just simply you going through and reading it. When simplifying and or reducing fractions, like the two fractions below, divide both the numerator and denominator by 25. That means you'd have 25 and 00 or 75 and 00 at the end of those numbers. Okay, here it is. Denominators to use in converting decimals to fractions, 10, 100, 1,000. And in this box, you should write this piece right here. Okay, if the numerator and denominator, and you can abbreviate numerator as N, denominator as D, like ND, yeah, you know, Notre Dame, okay, are 3 or 4 digit numbers ending in 25, 50, 75, or 00, I would tell you to divide by 25. Now, sometimes you can divide by something greater, but the majority of the time it's divisible by 25. Okay? Now, remember, you want to get from a decimal to a fraction in its simplest form if possible. All right? Here we go. All right, here's example number 1. This is pretty simple. We're going to go 0 and 4/10. Here it is. 0 and 4/10 actually equals 4 over 10. Simplest form, divide them both by 2. And guess what? Yeah, Mr. Common, where's that division symbol? There you go. And, yep, come on. Hey, 2/5. Simplest form, right? All righty. Sometimes you might want to consider writing 4/10 like this also, just so you later on get to percents. We don't want to mess up. We want to make sure we understand that, all right? Here is another one, 12/100. So it would be written like this, 12 over 100. What can we divide them both by? Guess what? The number 4. Yeah. 12 divided by 4 is 3. 100 divided by 4 is 25. I like to talk about quarters when we talk about division, like dividing by 4 and having 25 as a divisor. Right? All righty, here we go again. Now remember, our objective is to be able to get from decimal to fraction, simplest form, right? So here we are. Ooh. Now remember, we either want a 10, 100, or 1,000. Some people forget. May not be able to read that real well, but I tell them, you know what? You got 3 decimal places. Well, the only denominator I know between 10, 100, 1,000 with 3 zeros is 1,000. So it'd be 275 over 1,000. I remember reading or writing and reading to you that if you end in a 75 and a 00, you can divide them by 25. And 25 can go into 275. Let's see. I believe it would be 11 times. And 1,000 divided by 25? 40. In other words, if you thought about 1,000 as $10 and 25 as 25 cents, it would take 40 quarters or 25-cent pieces to make $10. That way it might help you mentally think. All right? And this one is greater than 1, so you're going to have 1 and 45 hundredths. And it would, and some people like to write this like this, because it really says the same thing. But, I mean, at some point you're still going to have to get back to a mixed number, so I try to leave it like this, and say it's 1 and I know I can divide both of these by 5. That's an ugly looking 5, Coach K. Yeah. And so 45 divided by 5 is 9. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Simplest form. 9 is not a factor of 20. I know it's in its simplest form. All right, simplest form. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Got to keep moving. Okay, here are some independent tasks. Excuse me. I know I only have 3 boxes, so what you have to do is you have to think about it this way. Box 1, these 2. Box 2, and box 3. All right, as soon as you're done, make sure you show me. When you're done, we can go to the exit ticket, okay? So stop, get those done, and I'll come back and I'll show you the answers. Pause it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go. Here we are. We have box 1. I hope you stopped and you took time to do these. 32 hundredths would be the same as, divide them both by 4. Divide them both by 4. 32 divided by 4 is 8. 100 divided by 4 is 25. All right, I didn't want to get over into the other ones, and I apologize for that. Here's another one, 85 hundredths. I can divide them both by 5. By 5. 85 divided by 5 is 17. 100 divided by 5 is 20. Guess what? 2 down, 4 to go. Remember your objective, converting a decimal to a fraction written in its simplest form. That's why these are correct, because they are in its simplest form. Now we got this one, 145 over 1,000. Remember, you can't divide these by 25 because it isn't a 50, a 75, 25, or double zero in both. So we're going to divide them by 5. All right, we're going to divide this one by 5. And the answer comes out to be 29 over 200. 29 is prime. And so 29 is not a factor of 200. I know this is in its simplest form. I'll erase this and I'll go back and show you the other ones, all right? This is 1 and 65 hundredths. 1 and 65 hundredths. And again, that is supposed to be a 5. You can divide them both by 5, okay? 5. And so we got 1 and 13 20ths. Again, 13 is prime, and it's not a factor of 20. All right? Simplest form. Simplest form. Hey, let me erase those out of the way. And you know what? I'll start the other 2. Sorry about that. That's happened sometimes when you get too much in a small space. All right, number 3, first one, 18 over 100. I can divide both of those by, let's see, oh yeah, 2. And the answer would be 9/50. 9 is not a factor of 50. That is in its simplest form. And this one says 9 over 10. Well, this, remember, is in counting order, simplest form, ladies and gentlemen. Alrighty, so here we go, on to the next piece, and here it is, your exit ticket. When you're done with that, we have a couple of assignments that we need to do and work on, just to verify that you know what you're doing. And when you have those done, make sure you show me, and it should be at the bottom of your graphic organizer, ladies and gentlemen. I'm hoping that the information I gave you is relevant, helpful to you in order for you to convert. That means change from a decimal to a fraction in its simplest form. You need to know how to read decimals, yeah? This is state standard, by the way. All righty, ladies and gentlemen, guess what? I'm done again before 9 minutes. See you later.